Welcome to Growing Dads.
Where I'm Kleph.
And I'm Rich.
And we're Growing Dads. We're discussing everything growing dads want to know and growing families, no matter how your family is constructed.
Growing Dads is all about inspiring all individuals with real-life topics, creating change, and talking through open dialogue. Growing Dads starts in 3,
2,
1. All right, I'm about to go live real quick.
Oh, yes.
You forgot about it.
I totally forgot.
Yeah, you did. Don't worry about it. Nobody. Look.
Welcome, everybody.
Yo, we want to say what's up to all y'all. We're taking our time out to actually reach out to our community, reach out to you guys and tell you guys we really appreciate everything that you guys have been doing for us and with us, and you've seen us grow. One of the biggest things that we're trying to do is to let you guys know that we do care about what you guys go through on a day-to-day basis, what you guys have to do as parents, just like us. But what we would like you guys also to do that will help us out is, number one, if you can, go to YouTube, type in growingdads.com. I said growingdads.com.
It's coming.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah. So type in Growing Dads and subscribe. We have a lot of our podcasts that are out there right now. If you're on Apple, Spotify, any type of podcasting, we're broadcasting there. So make sure you go subscribe there and show some love. Please like, comment, share. We really appreciate everything that you guys do, and we hope that you guys can see that by us actually putting that out on that daily feed every day. We're definitely just looking for dads. And then we want to just tell you guys thank you. We really appreciate everything that you guys are doing out there.
Yeah, all your feedback, all your input. Much appreciated.
We growing, baby.
We growing. Live and direct in front.
So
lead by example, they say, right?
I think so.
Which is no think. If you the leader, you better know.
If you don't know, better ask somebody.
Yeah, so what we getting into today? We got some juicy, interesting topics.
I mean,
we're gonna do one topic.
Well, the real thing is, we took feedback from from the audience, and people definitely tuned in with us to ask us what were some things that they want to know. So that's what we did. I'm gonna actually set this up right here so you guys can see a little bit. But they want to know what the hot topics. Excuse me, not the hot topic. But what we did was we reached out to a couple of you guys, and we got some feedback from the audience. The audience wanted to know, how do you handle a breakup with kids, and how do you start over? So that's what we're gonna actually talk about. And then we have been reaching out to our other dads that are doing the same thing that we're doing, and we're touching base with them, which is one of the good things. And we're teaming up with Their Son podcast. So for the hot topic piece of it, we're gonna be touching base with their 5 questions, the challenge that they challenged us with. And I'm gonna move this back a little bit. There we go. Yeah, the challenge that they challenged us with is is 5 questions. So, Kleph, we're going to start with the hot topics today and get into it. And then after that, we'll shut down the IG Live. What's up to everybody that's coming in? We really appreciate y'all. Yo, Roger, what's going on, baby? How's Cali?
Nice.
Yeah, Roger moved out to Cali, and then he doesn't even send texts or call anybody anymore.
I did not know, but congrats.
Yeah, man. So, hot topic. This is part of the Dear Son podcast. We salute you guys, what you guys are doing over there. We really appreciate everything. So, how long have you been a father?
I've been a father for almost 15 years. Okay. 14 plus, yeah.
How many kids do you have, and how old are they?
2 kids. I have 2 boys. They've already been on the show. They've already made their debut. Their cameo. But my oldest is 14. He's about to be 15 in November, and my youngest just turned 13.
Okay.
Yeah. So
the next question is, what is your biggest flex as a father? You might have to come in a little bit more because they can't see you over here.
On this side? Oh.
Yeah, slide in.
All right. My biggest flex was setting up the business and getting them organized in there. As part of the legacy building and setting up our generational, progression, wealth, all of that. That was an exciting time for me. Putting them on the business, they're business owners, and that was, I would say that's my
biggest.
Okay. Outside of having them.
What's your current challenge at this stage of fatherhood?
The current challenge is the missed time. After me and their mom split, I missed out on a lot of the day-to-day fathering activities, just due to the way custody and everything went, and up to a couple days ago, my phone, the Google Pics, it does different things, and it sends reminders for whenever pictures are taken, anniversary type stuff. And it was scrolling back and showing them from like 10 years ago, when just missing out on those little moments and those times. That's been the biggest challenge for me.
Have any regrets in that aspect? Seem like you're kind of walking down memory lane, thinking about a couple things. I mean,
do I have regrets about what in particular?
We'll leave that, because that was one of the questions from the guests. Is, can you talk about any regrets that you have, and how would you change them? So, I'll touch base on that a little later.
All right.
What do you want your children to remember most about you?
So much. I want them to remember my love, the love that I have for them, and the love that I have for them. I want them to remember the different facets of it, the different ways that my love expressed itself to them.
Right.
But most of all, my love.
Okay, so that is Kleph's Dear Son podcast. Top 5 challenge, top questions. So I'm gonna push this over to you, and I guess it's for me to answer as well.
Yes, sir. So we go. Okay. So in terms of how long you have been a father, how old is the older man? When did you become a father?
All right. So this is a little complex. That's not complex. So as you guys know, or if you don't know, I'm in a blended family situation, right? So my oldest, in terms of biologics, right, is 12.
Correct.
And my youngest, my youngest is 1. So that's there. Mm-hmm. And then in terms of all kids, my oldest is 16.
Okay.
And still the youngest is 1.
Okay. All right.
So I've been a father, realistically, if you're talking about information, I've been a father for 12 years.
Got it.
12 years of fatherly experience, motherfucker.
Okay. And I understand the blended family situation. How many kids? How many kids?
We have a total of 8 kids. So, we have
that. Now you're referring to the blended family situation. Correct. Totally. Okay.
Right. So, we have 16, 14, 13, 2 12s, an 11, a 10, and a 1. Damn!
Talk about the pride.
So yeah, we out here. Don't get your kids jumped. Fuck out of here.
Got a football team. All right, cool. So what has been your biggest flex as a father?
I should have thought about these questions while I was giving them to you. But the biggest flex I would say is none of them are really assholes. I mean, they are. They are like in the house.
Yeah.
Like they're. I say this all the time. And parents, if you don't ever say you fuck kids, then that means you're full of shit. Like, I hate kids. I love mine though. I hate kids. I love mine. So if you get how that breaks down. But the biggest flex is that they're assholes inside the house, but outside the house they carry themselves with certain integrity and certain levels of like respect. Okay. And they don't really go off the hinge around other people. I mean, kids are kids. They're gonna have their time and their moments, but right. That's about it.
But they're pretty much tempered and respectable and.
Correct.
All right, good job, Dad. Good job, Dad. All right, next question here. What's the current challenges that you have at this stage of fatherhood?
Individual consideration. And
break that down a little bit more. What do you mean?
Individual consideration is when you have to take the time out to really start. Instead of just laying a foundation, not foundation, but like a sweeping law, like everybody makes their bed when they get up, or everybody has to brush their teeth when they get up, and everybody has to eat. Those are normal shit that you're supposed to do.
Right.
The thing is, I'll give you an example. One kid would lose his friggin' retainer, or he would not know where to put stuff, right? Versus another kid would forget to brush his teeth and hop on a game. And then, so it's like the individual consideration is one kid would have clean clothes and dirty clothes mixed together and then throw all that shit downstairs for us to fucking wash. And then you see half the clothes folded and you're confused. So it's like just being able to touch base with your kids and knowing like what tweaks them and what you need to focus on to make them a better person. So that's kind of the hardest thing, is because each of them are looking to be treated fairly.
Okay.
And they don't understand what fairly means, actually.
Okay. I see. So between dragon breath and
yeah, all that other shit.
And all the other okay.
Yeah, man. Yo, listen, our house is crazy. Like, so you'll have. So when I say individual consideration, right? Yeah. You'll have a kid that complains. Like, one of the girls may complain and say, "Listen, the boys didn't pick up after themselves."
Okay.
But you go in their room and their room is fucking trashed.
So
it's like you're getting mad at this. Like, I have to constantly be on you to clean up your room. I got to be constantly on you to brush your teeth. I got to be like, it's being able to stay on top of all those little things,
right? And
in the grand scheme of things. So
yeah, amongst 8 individuals. Very interesting. Cool. All right. So the last question here I'm gonna get at you is, what do you want your kids to remember about you and remember you by?
I'm gonna say this directly to the camera, because if anything ever happens to me, I would definitely like to tell my kids this. From day one, I always loved you and will always continue to love you, even if I'm not here. And I need you to understand that. But at the same time, there's levels to what I've tried to put out to you so that you can understand in terms of the way you behave, the way you approach things, the way you think about things, and the way that you actually rationally go through understanding your emotions, your feelings, your behavior, and your action. I think a lot of people put behavior and action together, and I want my kids to know about me that I wanted it all for them, regardless of what they may have felt or thought. I wanted the best for you, and I did the best that I can to put you in the best position for you to be the best individual, and I love you no matter what. No matter what you think, no matter what you're going through, you're awesome today, you're awesome yesterday, and you're awesome tomorrow. So that's what I would like to let them know.
Amazing. All right. Cool. All right. So I'm glad that you said that too. That last piece, because as a parent, and from a parent's perspective, looking at kids, we look at them not only as the future, and not only as our future, but the things that we sacrifice. It's not fully understood at this stage. Understood. They won't understand it until later on, when they're older and they're they're more knowledgeable of life and what's going on. And pretty much what you said is love. You 100%. Want them to understand that you love them, and it's the same thing with myself and pretty much every parent, I believe, out there. They do what they do for their kids for love, and it comes in different forms and different ways. And the main thing that as a parent is just your ability to try and to put out that effort, and they'll see it, they'll know. Because when I even mentioned about timing, although I miss a lot of what we are able to do, and because I've missed a lot of what we've done in the past, I'm in a place now where I still have to sacrifice time to a certain level because of just the different responsibilities and things going on. And it's a balance. It's really a balancing act that we got to try to do the best we can.
100%.
But, yeah.
So what we told you guys today is that we're definitely getting into reaching out to a lot of the dads that's out here that's really doing it. And right now we got one of the dads. You guys can't see him, but we got him on live and direct. And as we said, this podcast is really based about you guys and understanding who you guys are as parents and individuals, and highlighting that. So Frank the host.
The host, what's good? What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on, Frank?
What Hope say? Turn me up in the headphones a little bit.
Can you hear me? I can talk a little louder.
No. All right, all good. So, Frank, thanks for joining us, man. We really appreciate you tapping in, and this episode is really about just highlighting the audience and really being appreciative of you guys for being. For allowing us into your life, number one, but also being able to participate. And that's where we want to make sure that the podcast is completely different than any other one, is that we're bringing you guys on the show as well, not just having you guys watch. So we want you guys to be definitely there and be influential. So what we're going to actually do is part of the Hot Topics piece of our podcast is we're going to ask you 5 questions. We just asked each other 5 questions, and maybe you can touch base with us on what you think, or just give your answers. You ready?
All right, good. I'm ready. Let's go.
Perfect. All right. So this is part of the Dear Son podcast, the top 5 questions to ask. How long have you been a father? Number 1.
I have a 12-year-old, so 12 years now.
Okay.
That I've been a father. Yep.
Okay.
What's the number? How many kids do you have, and what are their ages?
I got 4. I got a 12-year-old, a 9-year-old, 8-year-old, and a 6-year-old.
Listen, see, we love all y'all kids, but we don't listen after like 2. Listen, y'all birthday just keep on rolling.
All right. And what's going on, Frank? So, what is the biggest flex as a father that you have made?
All right. So my biggest flex is probably just seeing my son. I have all my kids are amazing to me,
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
But my son, my first son, right? Man, I get up in the morning, and what's dope is that he'll get up. I get up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning without an alarm clock. That's how I've always been.
Okay.
But my son, he takes up after me, and in the morning I'm always like learning. I'm getting stuff together and stuff like that. So I wake up and he'll be downstairs, like straight up learning something new every day
That's dope.
without
Nice. Yeah.
anyone asking him. So just seeing him being able to take stuff and like soak it in like a sponge
Right.
and go out there and execute. Cause he's like, "Yo, Daddy, I'm trying to be like you." He said that. He said that to me today. I'm trying to be like you. I'm like,
Nice.
what? I'm like, what in the world? I'm like,
Now
all
you're
right,
doing a
okay,
great job.
okay.
That's what's up. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So really proud of
So I'll
that.
be like Frank the host when he grows up. You heard? Go ahead.
All right. So the next question is, what's the current challenges that you have at this stage of fatherhood?
Uh, you know, every year is a new year. Like right now, I got a 12-year-old. She's about to be a teenager. So all the questions and she's a girl. You know,
All
like
right.
Can
I'm
I,
like all the
Frank?
girl
My
stuff
bad.
is
Can I ask the
coming.
real question?
What's up?
You know I'm the wild one. Did she get her period yet?
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
Yo, and I
God.
was at work when they called me. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Like I didn't know what to say. I had to go pick up everything for her.
What
So
was that like going into the store and picking up those items? And it's for your daughter, not the missus.
yo, it was like I'm like I seriously I was on the phone. I got a good friend of mine. Me and him are like close. Like fam, I'm doing this right now. Like I'm picking up this stuff for my daughter, not my wife.
That's crazy.
Yo, we all
So
laughing. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So like, and then I had to call my wife. I'm like, I don't know what to get her. Like it's like when your lady send you,
you have an
you go
idea.
pick it up, and put it in it. But now it's like I really don't know what to get her.
Right.
So I had to go get all that stuff for her. So it was mad weird. It was like also like, man, she's growing up,
Yeah.
and next thing she'll be off to college, and I'm like, yo, let's slow it down for a second.
I
Let's
wish
slow
I
it
wish
down
we
for a
could.
second. Yeah.
That's a little. See, my thought process was, what was it like coming home and giving it to her? Did you give it to her? Or did you give it to the wife or the
Oh,
missus?
so I gave it to my wife. Who met me downstairs, and she did too, because she wanted to tell me
Right.
that she started it, and that's a good thing because her and I have a good relationship. I can be real funny. I'm a goofy dude, but she's goofy too. She's like funny, so her and our relationship are close, and so she wanted to tell me like this is a big moment, and
Right.
so then she's telling me she need to have like her. One of those period parties. I'm like, I wasn't ready for that. I said, I'm not coming to that.
Wow.
I'm not
I've never
coming to
heard of
that.
that.
I'm not coming to that.
Is that really a thing?
That's the thing.
Get
It's
out
six
of
girls.
here.
Six girls came over here. Six girls came over to my house and had a party together with my daughter.
This is something I just learned, and
Yeah,
this is
that's
new to
That's the
me.
real
I
talk.
am okay.
wow. That's
Okay.
You
crazy.
know where they got it from? They got it from the Cosby Show. Real talk.
The Cosby. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what I just saw? What it was? I think it was Red Panda. They were talking about the period too on Disney.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. Last question. We got one more question for you, Frank. All right. So,
All right, one more question.
what do you want your children to remember about you?
I want them to really remember that one. I like what you said earlier, that I love them. One, and then two, if they're gonna remember anything, I want them to understand that they are the ones they're supposed to go get it, and they saw their dad do it. I took something from nothing. When I first started Frank the host came from my show I have, and
Talk
I
about your
started.
show after
So my
you
show.
done.
All right, cool. So my show that I have is called Fan Swap, but I remember sitting there like I had these dreams of just interviewing these artists, entrepreneurs, and influencers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I don't have the camera, I don't have the light, I don't have nothing. And so all of a sudden I was like, I just picked up my phone and I just started making phone calls. And I started doing on my podcast, a video podcast, because I wanted to translate it to a TV show with my iPhone.
Mm.
And 20 interviews later and getting paid to do all of them, Frank the Host came along, the brand of Frank the Host, and then my show Fan Swap, and my kids got to see all of that just like unfold, like
That's
right
dope.
before all of our eyes. And so I don't want them to sit here and ride on my coattails. I want them to go out there and get it for themselves. And so they saw me go get it. I want them to go get it. I want them to think it out and think it through without me having to coach them. Although I am going to coach them, but I want to see them put some effort into it. Mm-hmm. So I want them to remember me as someone who just went out there and just did it and made it happen for them and for their mom and all. Right now I sit in Tampa, a nice little house, got a pond in the back. But they saw me really grind for about 4 or 5 years to get to where we're at right now. So I want them to remember me as someone who did it for them, and I want them to do that for their families, right. And it carries their kids to do the same thing as well. So
nice. So Frank, is shout out to Frank for knocking out those questions.
Appreciate it.
Is that all you do right now, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, my show? No. So my show, Fan Swap, is started out in the DMV, which is DC, Maryland, Virginia. Mm-hmm. Northern Virginia is doing very well. And then I ended up going out to Tampa, and I'm working at a church right now as a youth pastor. Okay. But I actually, my whole thing was to actually get into the to TV. I wanted to be a host. I wanted to be like Steve Harvey or something like that, and hosting my own shows. Nick Cannon, Jermaine Dupri. That's my aim. Those are always my aim. Diddy. That's my aim, to be a mogul like those, like I just named.
Gotcha.
And so I've been working on that for, like I said, 4 years. I have a 15-year dream that started to unfold in the last 4 years. Nice. And just helping young people out has always been a dream of mine, always a thing of mine. I've been in the studio with kids, writing songs, all of that. I've been doing a lot in the communities in D.C., Virginia, Maryland, and now in Tampa. Hopefully worldwide in the next couple of years.
Yeah, call it, man.
So what we're saying just the same is that we're going to do a parenting tour, and we're aiming for 2023. So with parenting tour, typically you don't host the show. So I think we got to host. Look.
Oh man.
Yes. So I'm in there. And what we're trying to do is a tour around, probably start East Coast, then go West Coast. But, that's what we're looking to do, and we like to share that. So, Frank, we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you tapping in with us and letting us know. And we definitely going to let you know when this is going to drop, and we're going to put this out. I should have recorded it like this. See, now I know.
It's all good.
All right, but you're just going to have to hear your voice, so we're just going to have to put a picture of you and then us talking. We're going to have to figure it out.
Cool.
Yeah.
If you need a picture, I got a picture. I can bring a picture in for you, too. But I appreciate you guys having me on, too. Yeah. When you hit me up, I was like, I'm definitely down. I want to do more. I've done a lot, but I want to do more. So thank y'all so much for having me on.
No problem. And, Thank you.
I'll catch you guys later. Hopefully I get to have you guys on, too.
Yo, listen, just let us know. We tap in.
Definitely.
All right.
Take care, man.
I'll
Yes. So from another father, Frank. That was real dope. You see, and going back to what I was saying before, as a parent, man, like we set those seeds there when we have those kids, and the best thing that we can do is just set up that fertile ground for them to be the dopest humans individuals that they could be. Yeah. That's what's up.
So what we were supposed to do is tap back in. Yo, what's up?
Yeah.
I apologize, but listen, man, I told you that we was definitely gonna connect with you.
Yeah.
Right now we filming Growing Dads podcast. We just got off the phone with somebody else, so we tapping in with you. You're gonna be the last person we talk to, and we're doing a Dear Sons podcast. So challenge. So they challenge us, as you know, every day we're putting up at least 5 to 10 people that we're just highlighting them being parents, mothers or fathers. You can't be anything else, right?
Right.
And
as far as I know, it gets crazy out there.
They about to change that though. Supreme Court might put something else out.
So, and what we want to do is just really ask 5 questions that there's some podcasts asked themselves, and we did it to each other. So we're gonna ask you, and then just get to learn a little bit more about you as a dad, if that's cool.
All right.
All right, hold on. Now let me see if now I learned this part. Look, now I could put this one out.
Okay.
Because now it's recorded.
Yeah.
All right. So, you want to start?
Yeah.
Hold on.
What's going on?
First, say your IG name,
Right.
and give us a little background on you, and then we could go into it, if you don't mind.
My IG name is Anepsis Academy, and background is I'm a homeschool dad. I'm homeschooling two teenage boys, and it's a big challenge doing that, but we're making our way through it.
Nice.
And we're living on a sort of like a homestead, so we are separating ourselves away from as much nonsense and drama as we can. We're learning how to live off the land and growing our own food, raising our own animals, learning how to use different weapons and our mind.
That's what Jay doing. Jay just bought a farm, bro.
Who, Ho?
No. Nah, my brother Jay, man. He just bought. Shout out to Jay, man. He just bought a farm, and I'm like, yo. I get the thought process, but it seems like, were you doing this before COVID?
Nah, I wasn't. But COVID, well, yeah, we were doing it on a real light level, but COVID really brought it out. Like, this is something that is not a hobby. So right when COVID hit, we had chickens since 2015, and then when COVID hit, then we got the rabbits. So COVID hit in like March, so in April we went and got some rabbits, and we've been raising rabbits ever since and eating the rabbits, and
y'all eating the rabbits too?
Oh yes, sir. Yeah, that's
Hold on. So you killing the rabbits, taking their feet, putting it around y'all neck for good luck, and y'all eating them?
No, we're not doing that. We don't call it killing them. We process them, and but we eat them, yeah. And we don't. We're not at the point where we're saving the fur or the feet. But my son, he buries them. So one son is taking care of them. One son is processing them, just so that energy, because they are living beings and they can feel, you know what I mean? Like the energy. And
I can't even say that's crazy. That's just different. I actually like it, but so you don't have chickens to kill instead of rabbits?
No, we do, but the chicken is not really worth killing the chicken, because you can get 500 eggs from a chicken and you only can eat them once.
Got it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's better to do the rabbits, and the rabbit you can get off of about $50, and food, which will last you about 6 months, you can get, you know what I mean, 5 or 6 pound of rabbit per rabbit. You know what I mean? So
that's wow.
Yeah.
I never had rabbit.
I've never had rabbit. What does rabbit taste like?
It's delicious. I mean, it's like any other meat. Any meat that you have, it only tastes like what you season it with. You know what I mean? So if you just take it and you could cook it however you want, if you don't put no season on it, it ain't gonna work.
I mean,
so it's basically, you know what I mean, the texture of the meat, and it's all about the time and the preparation. And the rabbits, they really have about 2% fat, so you got to cook them slow, because they don't have nothing to cook themselves in. Like, you can cook chicken, you can stew it because they got fat, or pork and beef, you stew it, and they cook sort of in their own cellulite that loosens up the meat. So for the rabbit, we take the rabbit and stew it. So it takes about 6-7 hours, you know what I mean, to stew them down.
So it's like a pressure cooker.
We make.
You can use a pressure cooker to speed it up.
You could cook them in a crock pot too, but I cook them in a regular, just one of them. Yeah, you could, yeah. Yeah, you could, yeah. You could. Okay. And then but whenever we do it, it's around sort of like more like a ritual. And so we just had some for Father's Day. We processed a couple rabbits the day of Father's Day, or the week of Father's Day. We cooked them. And I make like a rabbit gumbo, so it's sort of the same way that they do a Creole style, you know, with shrimp, crab, lobster, vegetables, and it's banging.
Where you located?
We're in Cali. We're about 45 minutes out of San Jose. I mean, San Francisco.
I just said Rod.
Second person out there that
Listen, I mean, we already said, because we was tapping in with we was trying to work with another podcast. We definitely gonna try to do appearance tour next year, man. And Cali is definitely a place we want to go. and we definitely would like to see you when you come out there. So you want to get into the questions?
Yeah, we're going to get into this now. It's about 5 questions I have for you. This is the Dear Son podcast, all right? So the first question is, how long have you been a father?
I've been a father for 30 years.
Okay, your oldest is 30. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my oldest is 30, yeah.
Second, how many kids do you have?
And the ages?
Right.
4. I got a 30-year-old, a 24-year-old, a 15 and a 14-year-old.
Okay.
Why,
Okay.
if you don't mind me asking, why the
Can
gap?
you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Why the gap?
Relationship.
Okay.
So if you know, a new family?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, I got married in 2014.
Okay.
Or 20, no, I'm sorry, I'm tripping.
See, that mean that shit they ain't matter,
So
you
whatever,
heard?
15, yeah. 15 years
let me
ago. So I
stop.
think it was, 2014, something like that, or 20. Oh, sorry, my wife can hear me from here. She said 2007, dick.
I mean, same time frame, 7 lucky number.
Right.
He's still there. Wait. Oh, I thought you was talking about the first one. Okay, never mind.
No.
Then that matters.
Yeah.
Then that matters. You see? Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely a dick for that one. All right. So, that actually goes into the question that later on in the podcast. But what's your biggest flex as a father?
Biggest flex as a father? Man.
That's a good question.
That my kids are, you know what I mean, following my direction, following my lead, and like I feel like they got my back 100%. Like I guess if we wanted to, we could do almost anything, you know what I mean, as far as like traveling or getting some, because we have a lifestyle that is scaled back so that, you know what I mean, we can sort of splurge whenever we like. So I guess, you know, that mixture of those things.
Okay.
Nice.
What are your current challenges at this stage of fatherhood? So you have a 30, a 28, a 15, and a 14? Around
24,
there.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So can you kind of tell us your challenges for the 30, the 24, and then the teenagers? Because those are, number one, I'm interested to hear the 30 because I'm in my 30s. So I wonder what the hell he go about to say. And the 24 seems like, he wanted his money and to get drink and do something. But that was me. And then the teenager shit is what I'm about to go through. So I'm about to listen.
Yeah. So my 30-year-old, I think the biggest challenge is for him to, I guess, recognize that I'm no longer responsible for him and the choices and the decisions that he make, and I'm here more as a counsel, and he can, you know what I mean, call or ask me whatever he wants, and I'm gonna just give him what my opinion is, and not for him to just take it down in a way that my teenage children will use it more as, you know what I mean, a more reverential kind of guidance of like, this is what daddy said. So in my 24-year-old, I think the biggest challenge with that is just staying in touch, you know, like just just being present.
You being present or him being present?
Him.
So is he kind of like out of sight, out of mind type deal?
Yeah, he's living the life that he want to live and doesn't want any kind of outside influence. Like he want to do what, you know what I mean, whatever he thinks is the best thing, which is fine if that's what you want to do. And so I guess famously we are not in good communication because he found himself in a hardship situation and didn't want to come back to me to ask for help because of pride. And I said to him in a joke that, you know what I mean, before you start getting out there and doing blowjobs, holla at me. and
he took it.
He took it because, you know, you got to pause everything right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, I'm gonna tell you some real
But
shit.
dads could get that. Like that's
that's
we're
some real
supposed
shit.
to give you
that's
that
what I'm
real
saying.
like.
Word up. Yeah, like, come on, bro.
You know what's crazy? So, long story short, like it's being able to be authentically yourself. Because the thing is, as they get older, they've never seen you like that. You know what I mean? They've always seen you as the dad. Like, yo, I'm telling you what to do. It's not even that. I really don't even want to fucking tell you what to do. I want you to do whatever fuck you want. Just don't burn the fucking house down, and I don't want to hear your mom's voice. That's it. So if you can do that, or I don't want to hear a teacher voice, right? So when you look at that, you come back. I be wanting to tell my kids a lot of shit, but my dad came over the other day. Long story, it's not a long story short, but he came over this week. He said, yo, listen, pulled up. I'm taking the little baby out for a walk. He was around my uncle who had COVID. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He was like, what you mean? I'm like, nigga, you gotta go home. He was like, why I gotta go home? I wasn't really around him. I said, did you take a test? No. Okay, so then you gotta go. Like, yo, I'm just gonna drop off this mail for you. Nah, you take the mail, you take a picture, you send it to me. Like, but he didn't take. And I'm saying that to say this. He didn't take it anyway. He actually left. He said, I told him come back next week.
I thought that was harsh though. I mean, you could have at least said,
No.
spring down with Lysol or something.
No, leave. Because at the end of the day, like, you don't know everything that I got to deal with at the back end of it. I got a whole bunch of kids, so if I got to go, that's taking 3-4 hours out my day to make sure everybody else doesn't have it. He's not going to be doing that. He's going to be sitting down chilling somewhere drinking a Heineken. So that's one. Number two, and I'm to tie that all in, so my mom, you know my mom. She felt some sort of way about me with a situation. She didn't want to tell me that I upset her, but she got upset because I was talking to my pops, and in that I was like, "Yo, who the fuck she thinks she is?" So she heard that part and was like, "Oh, that's how you feel about me?" It took her like 3 weeks for her to sit down and talk to me. Oh, you're feeling some sort of way, and the reason why I went through this whole thing is. You're not supposed, as you get older, to me, you're not supposed to take certain things personal when you're a parent, right? Like, you got to also understand your kids. As your kids get older, they come to me like, you old as shit. I'm not going to take that personal. Or you tell me like, yo, leave me alone. Let me figure something. I'm going to leave you alone. But when you put your foot in your ass, don't come for me to pull it out. I'm going to sit there and tell you like, yo, your foot's in your ass. And if you like go against the wall, you can then pull it out. But you know what I mean? Like that's the thought process of it. So that's interesting. What about the teenagers?
Yeah, I mean the teenagers. The challenges with them. I think that that they becoming more autonomous. They are, they fighting for that. They fighting for that space of. I am becoming an adult and I want to make more of my own decisions and I'm willing to like test the waters to see, how far I can go in that regard. And so I understand that because I already went through it a little bit. So I let them, you know what I mean? And plus I'm older and I'm not as threatened as I might have been when I was in my 20s and 30s. Because, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I was in a much different state of mind, in another kind of environment. So any kind of like sideways talk, slick talk, whatever, in my mind, just growing up, it's like you don't take no bullshit from nobody, including your kids.
100%.
And now, like, I'm not in that mindset. I'm not in that environment. So I understand what it is that they're trying to do. So sometimes, like I might, punch them in the chest or something like that, but not, in a way where it's like, I'm just letting them know, like, you stepping into the man arena, this is how I go down. You know what I'm saying? And then, then we kind of, we might wrestle sometimes or whatever, but they.
Can you talk about that a little bit more in depth though? Because that's like super interesting. It's like you've gone through it almost 15 years prior. You have some time to kind of resolve yourself. So you get almost 2 cracks at it. Why are you handling them differently than the older ones? And is it worth it?
Because the way that I raised, so I call these kids, my 2 youngest kids, I call them my second chance kids. So all the mistakes that I made, because my first son, I was 19 years old. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I had him out 3 o'clock in the morning. I was letting him shoot a gun when he was 3 because I thought it was cute. Telling somebody, hey, tell him to suck your dick. Suck my dick. Say fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Like just a child. I was a kid having a kid thinking, you know what I mean, like little dumb shit. Like, and so the me doing that and having him in those environments had created a situation for him to grow up and become sort of the person that he is because he was in those environments and places he had no business being in. And so growing up, you realize the mistakes that you have. And so now these children, I'm just in a whole nother mindset. So like we got a good relationship where I'm always trying to be as honest as possible with them about what's going on in my life, trying to make sure that they tell me what's going on in their life, and just trying to be present too. Because in my older children's life, I wasn't around the way that I'm around these children. Like I was out chasing my dream, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever it was at the time that I wanted to do because I was 20 years old and 25 years old. And like, so yeah, you're going to your grandma's house or you going to this person's house, but I'm going out and I'm going, you know what I mean? And I'll pick you up and still demanding the same respect that, you know what I mean, I think that they should give me, but not actually putting the work in. So now I'm really, really putting the work in, you know what I'm saying? Like we together in some type of business. So we got a good line of communication. Even when we are upset with each other, there's a good communication around even discipline. Like this is why this is happening. This is why this is going on. And I think that that also creates a more respectful relationship. So
All right.
that's, you know what I mean, something that you just get over time and have you got to get the capacity to do that.
All right. So let me break something down with you, like, and maybe you could give me some insight. This is actually a dope ass show right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
I have the 1-year-old doesn't really bother me. I got like 5 that are crunched together in terms, no, 4 really, but 4 that's really crunched together, and it is 10, 11, 12, and 12, and then I have a 13. But the 13-year-old is cool. It's just making him feel a little bit more confident, right? Just kind of, because it's also a blended family situation. So what happened on my end, the reason why I'm giving you that little history is, what happens on my end is I'm oftentimes rah 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 rah, get this done, if you ain't doing that, and the cast is like, yo, calm down, you gotta figure this out, like you should approach it differently, you're too aggressive. And then my sister's like that. Kleph was like, yo, sometime you yelling. And it's like, I'm not yelling the first time, the second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time. When you guys are catching me, it's the 6th, 7th, 8th time. Right. Am I doing something wrong, number one? And number two, with the wisdom that you have, how do you go about getting them to do what you want them to do? Not what you want them to do, but what is in their best interest. Maybe like coming home, doing, taking out the trash, doing their responsibilities without blowing a gasket in your own head.
Well, one, I would say that you're going to have to just continue to repeat yourself. And the more you repeat yourself, they listening. You know what I mean? It's just that they might not be processing in the way that you think they process. And that's what I learned just from having a chance to really sit back and watch and observe the kids, that they not adults. Even though like we might put the adult stick on the 13-year-old, his brain is not operating the way that we all 3 right now sitting and communicating. He could be right here, right now in the room, but he not processing the nuances of what this conversation is about. He just hearing the words. So we have to realize that. And I do that when my youngest son is 14, and sometimes like I'll get angry with him because I'll say the same thing, like about his chores. Like every day it's the same thing. Hey, we got 3 chicken coops. And we call one chicken coop is named after his nana that passed away. Don't let the chickens out of Nana chicken coop 3 days in a row. He'll let them out. Are you fucking kidding me right now? You know what I'm saying? Like I tell you not to let Nana chickens out. Oh, I thought you wanted me to let them out. You know what I mean? How you thought I wanted you to let them out? I don't know. I just thought you know what I mean? And so
yeah, but I don't know. That shit pissed me the fuck off. What the fuck you mean?
Yeah,
You don't know, like.
Yeah. But you gotta like. So for me, you know what I'm saying? Like being angry is a part of emotions. You know what I'm saying? They allowed to be angry. I'm allowed to be angry. And sometimes I fly off the handle, and then I have to come back and try to at the best that I can do is try to come back and have a conversation about like this is the reason why I was upset. And that still creates a strong relationship because if you just flip out and then you don't have a conversation about it, then you're building a wall between y'all, and then the animosity is going to build, and then they're going to start trying to be away from you and staying away from you. And I think that that's what happened with my 24-year-old. I think that things were said and done because he didn't grow up in the house with me. So my 30-year-old was living in the house with me, and these young children live in the house with me. My 24-year-old was with another lady who he never lived in a house with me. He was on my weekend son, my summer son. So whatever she might have said or didn't say or whatever, it was already a wall in between us where whenever he came around, especially when he came and like when he came into my house to see these kids, like he see me being a basketball coach, they Boy Scout leader, their football coach, and he had none of that. So that built more animosity of like, was I worthy? Am I worthy? And how come it didn't happen for me? And we never sat down and had that conversation. So, but what you're talking about with them not listening, like you just gotta keep on talking. And famously, right now, I'm taking their phone. Like they'll walk to the moon for the phone. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, let me get your phone. You know what I'm saying? And then they don't want to give you the phone, but that's what it is. Remember back in the days, it's like your phone shut. You know what I'm saying? You had to turn it over. So that's what it is. Like, let me get that. So, and in just an hour will change their mind. You know what I mean? Just an hour of having their phone because it's their lifeline. There's like hours right now, and you take the phone, and pretty much they could do anything because they bigger than me. So like putting my hands on them, it's not even like really something I want to even be fostering. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because then that's gonna be that's gonna be a little bit more aggression that they can handle. You got that old man strength, man.
Exactly.
I never knew what old man strength was. Well, that shit is
serious.
Yeah, because I come from your spinal cord right there. I be telling them this that GMS, old man strength. You know what I mean?
Oh man! All right, and
we got one more question for you also. Yeah.
What do you want your children to remember most about you? All of them. And if you have to break it down by age, I think this would be a good place to refer them to.
I think I want them to remember me for the passion and love that I have for them. Like they all know that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I love them. Like right now, I think maybe in the last 8 months or so, we just stopped kissing. You know what I mean? And that's just like it fades off, and I just let them fade it off. But with all my kids, and that's the passion that I have for them. Like when you won or you 155, if you want to give me that, you know what I mean? Because it's not. So now you know how everything is paused and homo and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that I know that they see the outside world of seeing that, but I put all my passion and love into them and to let them know, you know what I'm saying? Like that there's nothing that I won't do for them. And I always try to like let them know that you should be trying to do the best you can do in the right thing because I'll destroy the world and everything in it for you. You know what I'm saying? But don't put me out in a situation to be doing nothing crazy because you're doing some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically I want them to remember the love and passion, and for them to take that into their life with their kids. But I also tell them too that I want them to stuff me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you got the deer in the house that's stuffed on the wall? Like, I want them to do that for me. I want them to fucking take turns and pass me over to each one house. You got that for the weekend. You got that for the weekend. Daddy and the motherfucker with a heart on. You know what I'm saying? And
imagine a little kid come down there to go get some milk.
Yeah.
Nigga move from the chair to the fucking wall so you don't fucking fall.
I told him to put a sensor in me. So you know when you get close to light come on, I want the shit to come on and then my dick get hard.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's real cool.
We really appreciate you tapping in. We're gonna have to have a different conversation because I know that you were talking about more of the academy and there's some other things there, but what we want to do in this episode was really take time out and highlight two dads and salute you guys for what you guys are doing, and we definitely recognize, and you guys have been rocking with us since day one, so we really do appreciate it.
You guys pull this thing together like this too, man. I remember you was asking about the logos and all that. I see y'all doing your thing.
Yeah, man, this thing is hard. Like, This shit is work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work behind the scenes. On top of everything else, But
yeah. I like the studio. I like the way y'all got it. You know what I'm saying? It's real professional. And I wish y'all the best. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be able to say, I was one of the first people on a podcast when y'all, you know what I'm saying, doing
it ain't gonna be the last.
Bigger.
It ain't gonna be the last.
You're definitely gonna be back on because you've been through some stuff.
I've been in the front. You know what I mean?
100%. And we really appreciate the support from the front line. And it really means a lot for us to kind of try to figure this thing out and where to go from here. So thank you.
Let me show y'all the flag real quick. Let me show y'all my son got it on his wall. This is his bedroom. So that's our
Nice.
our academy. And I'm in my son's room right now. He want to be a pilot. This is his video game area or whatever. Yeah,
Real talk. If your son wants to be a pilot, dead serious, DM me. And shoot me something about it. I'm gonna get him over to a group of people where he can pretty much get his pilot's license and start ASAP. Because
that's what it is. Yeah, he definitely serious.
There's a pilot shortage right now.
Yeah. We've been talking about it.
So, and I think I'll be able to help working with one of the biggest airlines in the world.
Wow, nice. That's I'm definitely.
It's all love.
I'm gonna shoot you a text, and then you just let me know what you need.
And I'm gonna go and try to get, regardless of whatever it is, I'll work with getting him into. We'll talk offline.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
okay.
You got my word. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Appreciate it, y'all. All right. Take care.
Salute.
Bye.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope. And you see a lot of the things that we go through, other parents they dealing with stuff also, and it's like again, as I mentioned before, and as I always say, all you gotta do is just try your best. They feel your energy, the kids feel your energy, they know what's going on, although you might not acknowledge the how much they're able to compute and everything, they still recognize you, and they can tell if you're genuine with what you're doing. So look, for all parents out there, man, all you gotta do is just try to download as much goodness as you can in your kids and give them that love. They'll see it, they'll recognize it, and they'll appreciate it. And then later on, as they become parents, you're passing down a legacy to them. The legacy and the mindset, how you think, the way of thinking, the way of moving, you know what I mean? He mentioned some of his older kids and the stuff he used to do when he was, young, in a young mental state, having a child, and the difference with how that the older kids are from the younger ones that he has now, and what he's been putting into the younger ones. There's a difference. You see it. So they pick up on everything and they feel everything. I
ain't gonna hold you.
That was dope.
That was real.
So now,
I'm gonna say this. Shout out to Design Your Bucket for hooking us up. As we told you guys, our merchandise was coming, and so we're gonna start getting those. What they're gonna allow us to do, and it's gonna be coming directly from Design Your Bucket. It's gonna say Growing Dads. If you want one, you just DM us, let us know, and then what is gonna happen on the back end of it, they're gonna put either your name or your handle. But for right now, that's what we're doing, and we're gonna start getting those in and trying to get those out to you, because number one, you're a growing dad and or a growing parent. You know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to get a different name. So it's
inclusive.
So make it look a little different, but we really appreciate you guys tapping in. We definitely are going to change the way we do podcasts by linking with you guys outside and bring you guys onto the podcast to be the stars. We're not the stars, you guys are. We just get a chance to sit here and talk about it a little bit, but what we're actually doing is being able to help navigate some of those waters that what we go through, and if it really affects you, as Cass say, if it apply, no. If it apply, good. And if it doesn't apply, then let that shit fly.
There you go. There you have it. There you have it. Thank you. This is real good, man. This is real good. We're gonna have a lot more, and we appreciate Frank.
Frank the host.
Frank the host. Yes.
First up.
And our last guest here. We definitely gonna tap in.
But what we also want to do is always leave you guys with something.
Mm-hmm.
What I learned today from these two men were, you have to be real intentional within yourself. And none of us have kids that's 30 or 24, but being able to listen to the podcast and really trying to see what you can get from it. What I'm gonna take back is, I'm gonna tell them, but I normally like tax. You know when I say tax, like you in trouble for a little bit, or like I'm gonna really try to like kind of pull that shit back. Just say, listen, I told you this, I told you this. When it comes to 1, 2, or 3, if I get to the third time talking to you, just come on, you already know what to do. Just give me that shit. Like, and I'm gonna try to take the chill approach, and if it don't work, I'm going back. But you already know what it is. Yeah. So just try things out and see if it works for you. I mean, we're gonna be coming out with a parenting book soon too, so stay tuned.
Yeah. And what I got is. Allow yourself the ability to grow. As new parents and even parents, I think a lot of times parents in general, we're always trying to do the best or the most, or we're trying to do it all. And I think the best thing that we can do, and what I've learned from them, is just give yourself time to grow. And up to our last guest that we had on, and really being able to see the two experiences from him being a younger dad to now, and seeing that progression.
Yeah, he was in the trap. He was in the trap at 19, and now he on the farm at like 30 at 49.
Mm-hmm.
50 something.
Yeah.
So that's and that's where having kids at a certain age,
it matters. Yeah, because who you are inside your mind is what you're going to influence and impose on that child. And clearly, with his younger kids, you see the difference between the two, as he was explaining. But yeah, just give yourself, what I took from all of this, just give yourself the ability to grow. All you do is just try the best you can. You're going to grow, you're going to develop, you're going to adjust. You're becoming. We all are becoming. Each day as we grow, each day as we go along, we're changing our perspectives, who we are, how we think. And we're just always supposed to keep that mindset of just trying to be the best that you can be. But allow yourself that time. Just love them and do the best you can. But there you have it.
You be good, and until next time,
be great.
Yo,
be great.
We should make the next episode. We should continue the fan input.
We will.
All right. We love y'all. Be good. God bless.